Hey, welcome to the second course where we go into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. This is from the 2016 album from BAND-MAID called Brand New Made, and track number 4, Brand New Road. So let's hop in and take a look together. Okay. Brand New Road is pure BAND-MAID rebellion, loud, sharp, sarcastic, and pulsing with momentum. It's a rallying cry against fake discussions, fake niceness, fake futures, which, again, is a common occurrence in their lyrics. The song mocks shallow arguments, hollow, clean ideals, and the people who perform wisdom without ever listening. That's an interesting way of saying this. I'm sure there'll be more in the translation notes. This hollow, which obviously the word clean within the lyrics will fit this hollow meaning. Instead, BAND-MAID pushes for a messy, risky, instinct-driven life. Use your pain as fuel, flip the script, reject boring norms, seize your own treasure. The road may be chaotic and unpredictable, but that chaos is the point. It's more alive, more honest, and more yours than any safe, predetermined path. I love that idea, more honest, like true to yourself, which is the path BAND-MAID pursued and won. All right, here's our English translation. We're going to hop down for a moment first, though, and take a look at the translation notes. I think it helps give us context for when we go up and start reading. Dirty fighting, crazy shouting. Not literal violence. These are BAND-MAID slogans representing rebellion, attitude, breaking expectations, refusing fake civility. Which is funny. You could tell me in the comments. It reminds me in this way because, again, you could look at dirty fighting, and from an American standpoint, an English standpoint, dirty fighting is just like you're cheating, really. It's like throwing dirt in somebody's eyes, or in boxing, like hitting somebody below the belt, or in grappling, you know, putting your finger in their eye or something like that. That's dirty fighting. Crazy shouting is like out of hand, not really, like there's no crazy shouting in our home, but we have honest conversations. We talk about things. But it's funny because I grew up in a pretty like quiet family, in the sense that my mother and her side of the family, I think, are more like internal in the way they process. And I very much inherited that. I like to figure it out inside, which sometimes, you need external processing to actually process. But for the most part, I just prefer to handle things inside and think about it, come to a conclusion, and then act or then speak. My wife, on the other hand, comes from a household that externally processed everything. Like, let's just get it all out there. Let's just say it like it is, even if it's wrong, and then we'll figure it out. And so, us getting married, coming together, learning communication styles, even to this day, 17 years later, we're still working that out and figuring out communication between the two of us. But I'd be curious to know, if you're more of like the internal processor or the external. And they both have their strengths and weaknesses. So my wife is, the goal is, right, when you get married, you learn from the best parts of one another and grow together. And so I have learned from her, how to kind of be a little bit more forward, not quite as passive. And then she's also learned from me the times to not talk, and to just take that more subdued space. But that's what I think that the lyrics are more so speaking to, right? Is that just very forward, honest conversation, not like it's saying here, not violent or below the belt type stuff. Kirigato, maybe? Pretty talk, empty ideals. BAND-MAID rejects surface level positivity in favor of gritty honesty. What is this? Megio-han? Literally 3.5 lines. Interesting. A historical format for a formal letter of separation. The way you'd officially cut ties with someone, used here to say, I'm done with your rules. See, that's interesting. And that's why we have these translation notes, because we really would not. I mean, we can get, obviously, and that's why we have the kind of flowing translation that takes all these things into account. But it's interesting, having this understanding from them, 3.5 lines, and them knowing what that would mean, because, I'd have no idea what that means. But it is just this formal letter of separation. Which, when you think about it too, is like, if you're going to get something that is a formal letter of separation, there's not a lot that needs to be said, right? It just needs to be very straightforward, to the point. Whereas if you're trying to kind of give context and explain and work things out, you need a lot more space. And so that is an interesting thought. Game-like reality. The lyrics mock how life can feel trivial, predictable, or scripted, as if people aren't actually living, just playing roles, which I think speaks to me as well. Was it Arcadia Girl? That was kind of like just this, the idea of like having this virtual or fake ideal of a woman versus like a real person, and they were challenging that idea in culture. I know it's not the same thing, but it kind of like harkens back to me, this game-like reality. Pain as a spark. BAND-MAID frequently uses adversity as fuel imagery. Yes, they do. Here, pain equals ignition for a new path. Cool. So let's go take a look. Pointless debates just to keep everything in a good mood. All they do is waste this short life. No one's really listening anyway. People spout magazine cliches and feel satisfied with themselves. And this is true. If nobody's really listening, then they are pointless debates. Because I don't think they would push back against the idea that you do have to have conversations that sometimes feel a little pointless. But if you're trying to reach a desired end, like, you have to have them. Sometimes you have to go around the merry-go-round for the sake of like getting to where you really know, like, okay, here's where we need to get off, right? It's like in a roundabout when driving, and until you figure out like, this is the way we need to go. So it can feel pointless sometimes, but it's not always. But if it is this, that no one's really listening, and it is just fake, like, no one has time for that. And that's what he's saying. It's a waste in this short life. Like, if we're going to reach a destination, if we're going to figure something out, then let's do it. Let's be honest. Let's be forward about it. Clutching too tightly until relationships break. That's all they were worth. Yeah, okay. It's almost like it reveals that it wasn't worth holding on to, because if you have to hold on too tightly, there's something going on. Dirty fighting. This makes me think of like pearls, like clutching pearls too tightly until they break. So I'm still looking a little bright here. Okay. It's because when I pull up this Word document, it's like blasting me with white light. So yeah, then we get into this like dirty fighting. Just be honest. Let's get it out there. Let's put it forward. Why are you trying to look cool? Break the lies and truth apart. It's like separate these, right? Separate the lies from the truth. You can't survive by lining up pretty words. That's a really interesting thought. And I think that's where the weakness comes in with my way of processing, right? Which I'm never trying to be fake about anything, but I do feel the need to like line up the appropriate words. That my wife would love this song. She'd be like, listen to that again. I do feel the need to line up the appropriate words. Just, I don't know why. There's something in me that's like, I don't like getting it wrong. However, I am on here getting a lot of stuff wrong all the time. Even pain, that's what we're doing on this channel. We're dirty fighting, okay? We're just in here trying to figure it out, find the truth. And sometimes you get it wrong in pursuit of that. Even pain becomes an ignition spark. Very cool. Grab it boldly and carve out your brand new road. So this is what I think it's getting into. If you're talking about dirty fighting, crazy shouting, it's like even the pain of that conversation becomes this ignition. And I don't know, I mean, to me, it speaks to, it doesn't speak to like leaving that person. It speaks to like, if we're going to find a new road, hey, okay, bringing it full circle, pun intended. If we're in this roundabout because we're clutching too tightly, we're not being honest, I need you to break lies and truth apart. You can't just keep lining up these pretty words. So let's be honest. And the pain that's even in the honesty is going to be this ignition to put us on the brand new road, to send us down the path we need to be on. That's what it speaks to me, more than this like brand new road, I'm leaving your butt. Which that, could be the result sometimes. Getting happy or upset over a TV horoscope. Interesting. Why not let it decide your mood for the day? A path left up to luck, like rolling dice, is better than a future with only one option. It's interesting that none of this was in the translation notes, because that's a very unique verse. I think in the end, because at first this feels like an indictment, right? Kind of speaking to the emptiness and ambiguity. It's like you're letting this horoscope decide your day. But then she comes in with this, a path left up to luck, like rolling dice, is better than a future with only one option. So maybe the whole premise is just like a shakeup, just something different, something not fake. That right now you are just in this kind of roundabout, but it's like, choose anything, do something different. I don't know. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. That's kind of what it speaks to me. Because the way you're going right now, you only have one option. So even like just breaking out of this norm, doing something different, doing something random, dirty fighting, crazy shouting is better than a future with just the one option, the one way you're headed. This kind of real life, in quotations, has so much room to breathe. It makes you yawn like playing a game. So much room to breathe. Was that in the translation notes? No. I'm curious, the pre-chorus, what it says here. It's the second pre-chorus. So relaxed it makes you yawn. A real life that feels like a game. That's why we have both of these here, because sometimes I feel like the literal translation serves better sometimes. So yeah, it's crazy shouting, no thanks to superficial buddy-buddy behavior. Turn it upside down. If your common sense is boring, I'll reject it from my side. Throw down the 3-line breakup notice and steal your treasure dream without hesitation. Now, what was it saying about treasure? It mentioned treasure down here, didn't it? Maybe not. I thought I remember it. Oh, maybe it was up in the top. It was referencing it. Yeah, seize your own treasure. So maybe the literal translation helps paint that picture a little bit better. No thank you to cozy familiarity. I'll reject boring common sense myself. Throw down a 3-line breakup letter, meaning officially cutting ties with someone. Treasure dream. Steal your treasure dream without hesitation. See, this is where I'm trying to figure out your treasure dream. I don't know. Help me with this in the comments, what you think this is really saying. I mean, I get the gist of what's being said. Because here it does sound like the ultimatum, right? Why are you posing like that? Break the lies, truth apart. I don't want shallow familiarity. Turn it upside down. You can't live on pretty ideals alone. Follow what your instincts command. For now, just run forward into your brand new road. I enjoyed this, man. A really cool song. Again, as always, really interesting thoughts in the lyrics. And I always appreciate that. I'm glad that we do this. This is one of my favorite parts, honestly. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next one. Because I accidentally cut myself off early. Hope to see you in the next one. Because we're eating good.